Welcome to the Ask Faleskini podcast with a guest. I'm proud to present Raj from Kid Kingdom. Raj, please tell us more about yourself. What is your story?
Wow, thank you, Peter. That's a nice introduction. But talking about the background of Keep Fit Kingdom and what I do, I'll have to take you back to my story, like from the beginning. So it all started when I was 3 years old, and my mother took me to nursery in London, where I was born for the first time. And we were looking out around the nursery, and we went to the library. There was a small library there. And for some reason, I was attached or attracted to two books. Just two, not anything else, just these two. And one was about dinosaurs, and the other one was about planets. And I took those two, and I was just mesmerized by the images in these books. For whatever reason, I remember all of these things more than my whole education. They're like it was yesterday. It's so clearly printed in my brain. And those, funnily enough, those fun kind of silly concepts that we pick up as children, sometimes they can guide our entire life. And that's what happened. So the questions I would ask myself as a very young person, like 3, 4, 5, is, if you're a dinosaur, how do you get to become a human? How do you evolve from dinosaur to, elephant to dog and dolphin, and then how do you become a human? Like, how does that happen? I was asking myself these questions when I was very young. And then the other one was planets. I used to say, we're on planet Earth. It's a small blue dot in the solar system. But what are these other ones then? What do they do? Why is there Saturn? Why is there Jupiter? Why is there Mercury? No one tells you why are they there. They just tell you they are there. But why? Right? So for me, this has been an ongoing quest to find out, if other people are not talking about it, why are they not talking about it? Should they be talking about it? Is it part and parcel about everyday life? Yes or no? And then I realized a bit later on that, yes, these are part and parcel of our very progressive evolutionary nature. And if the sad thing is, if you don't know that because you never learned or no one taught you, then you're missing out on a huge part of yourself. And I don't think anyone wants to die not having realized these huge fundamentals about what and who they really are. So does that help give a little background?
Yes, that's amazing. I have so many questions just from this introduction.
Yeah.
So you have an amazing inner clarity, and that is really not common these days. So how did you come to this inner clarity? What was your it all almost seems like it was given to you from a really early age. And can you elaborate a bit more for an everyday person? Because most of us midlifers, we are still confused. Why are we here? What's going on? Okay, we know all these theories, but we cannot make any sense of them.
Yeah.
But you have such an amazing inner clarity. Can you tell us more about your inner clarity? How did you gain this? And did you ever feel lost? Did you ever feel like you're not connected?
Same like with Einstein. He said he felt like his navigation system was completely foreign or alien to this planet. So he started to calculate all these equations to get him back home. Like E equals MC squared and all these things. Because he didn't feel at home on this planet. He felt like his mind or his being was from a different dimension before this incarnation, before he was reborn on planet Earth. His mind and his body was probably in a different dimension altogether. That's why I found it so difficult to navigate on Earth. And I think all human beings go through that at some point where they're confused, nothing makes sense, everything's like up and down, and there's no sense of purpose, there's no sense of direction. You're not imaging the right things in your mind. You can't see that you can't see, and you can get drowned in that. So what happened to me is, as with a lot of people who are influenced by one or two significant people in their lives, what happened to me was, as a obnoxious, very materialistic 18-year-old, I went to India for the first time. And I met an avatar. The word avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's become more and more common in the Western vernacular because of the film Avatar by James Cameron. And people don't even realize that avatar is a Sanskrit term that means God coming into incarnation. Right? So there I was, 18 years old, thinking I know something when I know nothing. I go to India and I meet an avatar. And his power, his electromagnetic aura, is so huge that it just blew me away. Like, all the concepts and ideas that I thought were correct, completely demolished. And that's the impact that meeting a holy person or an avatar can have on your entire life. Because they always try to raise your vibration, raise your frequency, raise your level of consciousness and awareness. It's always about that for them. It's always about raising humanity. That's what happened to me. That's what happened with their energy colliding with my small little mind. They're saying, no, son, that's too small. You can do better than that. So you get into the aura or electromagnetic field of these beings, and you enter a totally different space. So I hope that answers your question about why I've got the clarity.
Yes, but I have another question that is important. You mentioned movie Avatar.
Yeah.
Now I will put you in a dilemma. As a
Please do.
So when you say you explained about Einstein, why he made all the calculations, and the first thing that came to my mind was E.T., the movie from the 80s.
Yes.
I believe it's from Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
So would you think that E.T. is more applicable to people on Earth, or the Matrix that much later, the movie that came much later, is more applicable? How do you see that? So in your mind, is it better to watch E.T. and go back to the place we come from, or it's a better archetype in the Matrix that everything is here, we just need to know how to navigate?
Correct. Both. There's a great avatar called Maha Avatar Babaji. He said, wherever you go in this universe, there's a mixture of good and bad, or sweet and bitter. Mm-hmm. So what you have to do is be like the wise ant who never touches the salt. He always goes for the sugar. That's how you have to condition your mind to always gravitate towards the sweet, positive things in life. Then you build up an identity that always sees and expects the best, the sweetest, the nicest, the most noble. That's the way you have to use your mind. So to answer your question, get the best of ET and get the best of the Matrix.
So you, if I conclude correctly, you're much in that our perception, our inner state of mind creates our environment. Was that the right thing to understand from your story with the ant?
Correct. Absolutely. And when you create from within, and it's your own creation, you think about how it's going to impact not only your life, but your family. and your community and your city and your country and then the world. Because no one wants to make a dream which is horrible. No one. You don't want to make a dream. If you're conscious and you're thinking, you never want to make a dream that is unpleasant or negative or miserable or depressing. No one wants to do that. The only reason why people are in those negative states is because they're not, or they've never had the opportunity to consciously think through what they really want in life.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, the people that do bad things, they do it before because they don't have they don't have an example how they could do good. Because it's important that they have an example and they have a vision that everything can be positive. So the negative things are just the consequence of, let's say, closed mind or narrow-mindedness.
Yes, exactly. That's why everyone needs a mentor. Everyone needs a wise parent or a wise uncle or a wise spiritual figure, or however you describe it. You need some positive influences from somewhere.
Okay, let me push you a bit further. So
Please.
about the mentor, is it enough that mentor is just our motivator, our cheerleader, and our the one that shows us the way? Or would you say that on top of a good mentor, you also need an accountability partner, as we always push in coaching that we want to be accountability partner to our clients? What's your take on that?
Absolutely, 100%. Because you could be a dreamer and you have great dreams, but you never engineer any of it down to earth, realize or manifest any of it because you're scared of what people will say, you're scared you will fail, you don't feel you're worthy to do something like that. But the more you leave it, the worse it gets because your life is going past and you're going to be dead when you're 75, 85, 95, maybe 105, who knows. But if you don't start to manifest something special from yourself, some special energy signature that you prize as being worthwhile, you'll feel regret, very strong regret in the midlife, like you talk about midlifers, or even later you leave it too long, you can't do anything there.
Okay, now I have another dilemma.
Yeah.
Because you are a yogi and you work with a lot of people and you are a guru. I would like to ask you, as your perception.
I wouldn't call myself a guru. I call myself
I will, because I converse with you, so I somehow find your answers really on a completely another level. So I think it's time that somehow we tell it like it is, and you're
Sure.
really on another level. So according to you, the midlifers that come to you, do they have bigger problem grounding themselves, or do they have bigger problem connecting with the divine? What's the biggest issue of midlifers that you see with people that you coach, that you work with?
We just
Excuse me?
Yeah, we just connection broke a little bit there.
So
Can we say the question again?
yes,
Sorry.
of course. Sorry. You meet so many people, and
Yes.
let's focus just on midlifers. So do you think, or what is your observation? Is there more midlifers that have problem connecting with the divine, or is there more midlifers that have problem grounding themselves?
I think it's the first one. They need to connect with a bigger concept of themselves and their potential.
Mm-hmm.
And it's lifers. Because if you don't cultivate a seed of an idea for long enough, you can't see anything else than what's currently materially in front of your face. So, yeah.
So it's still a connection to the divine, because my biggest challenge in my coaching business is how to ground people.
Yes.
They have so many ideas how they will do something extra big, or how they will, or they're big dreamers, as you mentioned before, but they have huge problem materializing their dreams. And my assessment is that midlifers are not grounded, because
Mm.
our culture is not grounded anymore. It used to be, because a lot of people worked on farms, but now when a lot of people is in the cities, the grounding, and because of the new materials, that we are isolated from earth and earth's
Mm.
crest, we are less and less grounded. And that is also why our mind is more, like, let's say, absent, not
Yeah.
here and now.
That's a very good point. I would agree with you. That is both. There's a bit of both. And I think having accountability and working with people who are like-minded can help ground and manifest and be accountable for producing results.
Okay, so before we conclude this episode, what is your number one advice for midlifers? Where should they start their journey towards, let's call it, individualization, self-discovery? What is the number one step that they should do? What is the most important thing, or they should start doing? Maybe it's not something that they can do in an instance.
I would definitely recommend people get to know themselves. So one of the easiest, quickest ways you can do that is by using the breath.
Mhm.
If you think about it, you can live without food for 40 days. You can live without water for 4 days, but you can't live without breath for more than 4 minutes. So that means breath is your most vital fuel and sustenance. So you should get acquainted with that to help you explore dimensions of your potential, your consciousness, and your energy.
You also developed a special method of breathing. Can you share a bit more about the method of breathing that you have developed and that you are teaching or coaching? I think that is special, and our listeners would love to know about it.
Yeah. And I can also, as well as talking about it, I can walk you through a very brief process so you can experience the results for yourself. And then you
That would
can
be marvelous.
explain it to your followers and listeners as well.
Yes, please.
All right. Yeah. So basically, because of my background, like I talked about earlier, being quite childish with dinosaurs and planets and all this thing, I wanted to understand, like, how do you connect all these things? Is there an underlying energy that connects the dots on everything or not? So is something existing there? And lo and behold, I found out that yes, there is an energy link that connects the past with the present and the future. And it's a living energy. It's not dead. There's nothing dead. There's nothing dead. Everything is living, vibrating energy. And behind that is consciousness. These are the only two constants that exist in the universe: consciousness and energy. Now, the reason why it's so confusing for so many billions of people is because energy is infinite in its frequencies and grades of vibration. And you can only speak or act from that level of vibration where you're at. So until you raise your frequency and your vibration, you probably don't have that many options of viewpoint to see things and to act from that level. So in a nutshell, breathing is the hidden key, the hidden link between your mind and your material world. And your mind, if you think about it, your mind is not visible. It's invisible. But in the school system, whether you're from Czech Republic, Slovenia, UK, America, wherever, they never give you even 1 hour of instruction in any of your subjects about what the mind is. And because of that, all this confusion happens. And as you get older, with the wrong ideas in your mind compounded over time, you get further and further off alignment. Hope this is making sense to you.
Yes. So, Raj, where can our listeners and viewers reach out to you, and what is the best channel to use to get some of this wisdom and to come see you or train with you?
Sure. Shall we do the breathing method as well? Or what do you
Yes.
think?
Should,
Yeah.
let's
Okay.
do it before we
Okay.
conclude.
Absolutely. Okay. So first of all, check your nostril flow by blocking your right nostril and breathing out once through your left, like that. And then do the same on the other side. And are they 50-50? Are they balanced? Is one open more than the other?
Yeah, the right one is it's more closed.
The right one's more closed. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like 60-40, maybe ratio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Approximately.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, Peter, how are you feeling right now? General, overall. One means terrible, 10 means amazing. Where would you?
8.5.
8.5. Okay, good. Very scientific. Okay. So for this method, very simple. You're going to breathe in 3 times through the nose,
Mhm.
and then you're going to exhale 3 times out of the mouth with an elongated exhalation on the third out breath. Okay?
Okay.
So it looks like this. Sniff, 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 and then ha, ha, ha from the back of the throat with an elongated exhale on the third out breath. So sniffs. I don't know if the Zoom is stopping the kind of sounds because it has its AI tech in there to block
I
the.
hope not.
No, I hope not. But so it's sniff, sniff, sniff,
Mhm.
and then
Ah,
ha, ha sound, ha,
ah, ah,
ha from the
ah,
back of the throat. Open
ah,
the mouth a bit more
ah, ah,
without the vocal cords. There you go. Okay, now we're going to do this for 1 minute, okay, with your eyes closed,
mhm.
and then you'll see what happens to your energy. Okay. All right, so I'll put the timer on. 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, stop there. Keep your eyes closed, Peter. Just relax. Just feel what's happening within. And just gently observe what's happening within. Relax. And keeping your eyes closed, Peter, tell me what you notice and how you feel.
I notice extreme or increased energy flow,
Mhm.
and the, let's call it, energy is pushing away all or um, everywhere where it hurts, where this or where muscles are tired.
Mhm.
I see a spring of, let's say, warmth coming there, and slowly, um, the tiredness is dissolving.
Yes. Good.
Uh, and I could connect it with some of my, let's say, emotional blockages or mental blockages,
Yes.
where I'm stiff at some things that I
Yeah.
have to forgive and let go.
Yes.
It's easier for me to do that.
Like a release.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Now, did you notice your heart rate slow down a bit?
Yes.
Good. Did you notice the mental chatter, the monkey mind that keeps on chattering all day long? Do you notice that also decrease a bit?
No, I have almost empty mind because I did some meditation early on, but I imagine or I feel I could make much better computations if I needed to than before the exercise.
Yes. So you feel like your mind is more calm now?
Yes, and the, let's say, the capacity for calculations and logical decisions is much higher.
Much higher, yes.
Yes.
This is called flow state. So when you're in a state of flow, there's less static and negation pulling you backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. So you stay in a forward flowing direction. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just amazing how much it changes in 1 minute.
Yes. So you said you felt an 8.5 out of 10 earlier. What would you say you feel now?
I'm a bit euphoric now. So
Euphoric, yeah.
euphoric, yeah. So like not endorphin rush, like something like that.
Yes.
Like I have achieved something that I've worked for a long time. I have just achieved that, and I'm receiving the reward right now. So that is how I feel.
Correct. And it only took 60 seconds.
Yeah, that is just amazing.
Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, you said you felt 8.5 before. What do you feel now?
Yeah, it's full. It's 10, sure.
10.
Yeah.
Okay. And Peter, on a scale of 1 to 10, how surprised are you at how quickly this worked?
100.
100.
Because I know a lot of breathing techniques. I did a lot of exercise, Wim Hof and other exercises, but this is on a whole nother level.
Yes, exactly. Now, do you feel a growing sense of expansion of awareness of the mind beyond the body? Do you feel a little bit of sense of that? Like a growing awareness that if you did it for maybe a few more minutes, you'll see this kind of huge awareness open up in your mind. Do you get a sense of that a little bit?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
So what you've just done, you've released endorphins from the brain, which help relieve the body of pain.
Mhm.
You've opened up the serotonin, and now you're feeling euphoric. That comes from the serotonin. Yeah. And also the dopamine sense of reward after working hard. Yeah. But you didn't have to work hard for this. See? That's why we're making it as accessible to as many people as possible. Okay. You also activated the vagus nerve, which helps with the parasympathetic rest and digest side of your nervous system. Okay. So when you do this for 2 minutes or 3 minutes at a time, you compound the effect even more. And your whole day can be in flow state.
Yeah, it's just amazing because it's so simple and it works.
Yes. Okay, there you go.
Thank you very much for this. So now, where can our listeners and viewers get in touch with you for further instructions? Because this is a life hack. I think that it's needed and everyone needs this.
Absolutely. That's what we're looking to do to help people more. So they can go to keepfitkingdom.com
Okay.
and they can go to the tab. It's called the 3 products. There's testimonials, videos. You can message on WhatsApp via the website or email. And you can buy products as well to help them to, like a tutorial to do it. So,
Okay. Raj, thank you very much for being my guest. thank you for all the insights. Thank
You're
you for being our guru for the night.
welcome.
And
Appreciate it.
looking forward to making another interview with you in the future.
Absolutely, Peter. Really great questions. I really appreciate it. And I hope people get onto the path of knowing themselves better through the breath.
Thank you.